What's up? I'm Captain Mel Asylum, and here's another sip of Galactic tea. Stargate Origins. I just been on a roll of watching like new stuff from everything that I used to watch in the 90s and early 2000s. First it was Star Trek, and then it's Stargate. I don't know why when I saw like the picture for it, I thought it was like a documentary on like where they got the idea for doing Stargate and stuff. This was very much a remake, wasn't necessarily, but kind of a remake of the original movie, but from a different perspective, but very, very different. If I had the time and patience, I would take a clip from the original and then show a clip from the Origins, Catherine, and like compare them. Because there's a lot of scenes that were just fan fiction of the original movie, but done so well. And then having two of the characters, well, kind of three, four, well, including Raw. But as far as the main story is concerned, we got Catherine, and we've got what's his name, the dad from the other movie. Why can't I remember his name? Probably because it's ancient Egyptian. Um, like I was halfway through it, I'm watching. It's like, is that the guy? Is that the guy that they were talking to before? The one that be in all the shows that I've seen after that, and be like, that's the guy from Stargate. Every time I see him, I'm like, that's the guy from Stargate. So, and like, yes, that is a younger version of him. At first, I didn't think so because, like, okay, I'm thinking like maybe he's around 20, but he's probably younger than that. And then Stargate happens 50 years later, 55 years later, actually. So, in 97, and this show happens in, what, 39. So in like, and then like the comparison of the U.S. soldiers coming to blow up the gate to the soldiers trying to find power on the other side, because what else can you do other than just let me not say that. I'm done. Well, that's what they were actually doing. But the whole time I'm thinking, they see your power, they want your power. They're not going to let you be powerful with you. You're brown. like, like, I know we're probably not supposed to say that word on here. Maybe I need to bleep it. But that's what they are. Like, literally, we go back to the World War II. This is literal World War II. So, that's what, if this is all edited to death, that's why. Because I don't want to get in trouble for saying that word. Um, they're enemies from World War II because they're literally enemies from World War II. Even like the language and how they use it, the marriage, like there's so many parallels to this movie that was in the other movie. And let me look up the cast again real quick, because so playing the dad of Catherine is an actor who was also in Stargate Atlantis and in Star Trek. And I'm like, maybe I should look up what other shows that he's in, because does he only do science fiction? Or maybe I've only seen him in science fiction because I primarily watch science fiction. But every time I see him, it's like, and his accent, that doesn't go away. Like, I can still hear your twang, dude. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I like the little story with the guy, what's it, Wasif, is this her name? Wasif? The Egyptian soldier who is talking to his British friend, and he's like, I don't think love is for me, I just don't get it. And he's like, well, you need to put yourself out there and talk to more girls and stuff. And then he gets to this other planet and realizes it's not him talking to girls that's the problem. As soon as a guy catches his eye, he's perfectly fine with love. Like, and then it was so weird. Like, you guys are coming from like the late 30s. You see your friend kissing a dude's a dude, and y'all just like, well, I guess love comes in that when unexpected. Like, y'all didn't stop to pause for just a second. Like, I think it makes sense, but I'm like, I'm me. So, like, I think that's perfectly fine. I know the people from that time did not see it as perfectly fine. But we're also talking about, like, a girl who's obsessed with a culture that is very different from hers. And I know that I know somebody who's going to go and bring up the fact that Europeans were obsessed with taking and learning, or just taking from other cultures, and Egypt was one of them that they did a lot of. They just got a whole bunch of stuff. Like, we just had the issue with um, the British Museum needing to give back stuff. Like, that stuff is not yours, and they're like, yes, it is. We stole it fair and square. Stuff's not yours. Give it back. At least that's my opinion. I know it's not going to be others' opinions, but I think the cultures that made it should get to keep it. Now, on the other hand, we're talking about England here. So, and that was one of the biggest things about Stargate. Even though, for me as a kid, that was, other than like Star Trek, that was a sci-fi that I got to see at least some form of African culture, and I got to see people of color in it. And even though they were all slaves and enslavers, like, occasionally there was like a black American soldier, like, obviously, like we see now. But to see those people, like these people of color, dressed up as the Goa'uld, as the gods, and just look so cool. Like, they're decked out and they're gorgeous. And even though they're technically the bad guys, they look bad. So that was one thing that I loved about Stargate. Like, you could not, and the headdresses that the soldiers wore, that were like the godheads, and oh, I love Stargate. Like, I hate the fact that, every bad guy had to be a culture of color, and the only alien culture god that was good were Vikings. I have nothing against Vikings, but the only good ones were white. You only had one good one. So, like, you had like the Nox, who could have clearly tried to be system lords too, or gods, so to anybody, and they're like, we gonna mind our own business. So, and if you like this conversation, join us with the Voices in Hyperspace. We do this. We have a podcast. I do join some friends, and we talk about sci-fi. We're mostly doing Babylon 5 right now, but if you want to join us for a side mission, let us know. We love science fiction. So, all right, now I'm saying bye.